thank you all so much for joining us this morning. I was just sharing a couple of minutes ago. You guys are the owners of All Blessings Flow here in Charlottesville. How many years have you been in business?
We've been doing this for 8 years now. Yes.
8 years. So you're getting pretty good at what you do, huh?
It's growing every year. It just blows our minds.
Right. I understand that Doug just recently joined you full time. He left his teaching job. Is that right, at St. Anne's, and joined?
That's right. I taught at St. Anne's for 20 years.
Wow.
And then they finally got tired of me and showed me the door. No, actually, things just
I really needed him.
Right.
Things just got so busy that I was trying to help out at All Blessings Flow while teaching, and it was just a little bit much. And so.
Right. So that is just another testament to the fact that you're growing and that wonderful things are happening. And we're excited to get the word out for sure. So Annie, tell me quickly, what made you start All Blessings Flow? You know, every story has a story. What is your story? How did it start?
Well, we brought my mom and dad in to live with us 10 years ago, and mom had polio, and so she had post-polio syndrome and was almost a quadriplegic in her last years. I'm an occupational therapist, and I just believe that God, kind of provided me the skills to take care of her in our home. Right. And we had her for 4 years. And then after she passed, we had a lot of equipment that we had accumulated. And I called around and I couldn't find any place in our area that actually accepted what we had. And so being an OT, I called a lot of social workers in the area, and I said, hey, we have this list of items. Do you know of anyone in need? And my phone just started ringing off the hook, and I just had no idea the need that was in our area. So we gave out all those items, and we saw what an impact it was making, and we kept praying on it. And we felt like that what once blessed my mother was now blessing someone else. So then All Blessings Flow was created.
And hence the name. That even the name reflects the blessing. It touches my heart for sure. I think that people oftentimes find themselves very quickly in a transition. So once somebody has a new diagnosis or there's been a fall or something major, some trauma has happened, they suddenly now find themselves in need of equipment quickly. I know you guys have a schedule. There are a couple of days that you have pick up and you're available and open to the community. But how does All Blessings Flow fit into this picture when somebody needs something ASAP? How do you guys work that?
Well, I mean, of course, we have asked people to give us a call or email us. We are primarily serving those who are uninsured or underinsured and just struggling financially. We do help. We try not to turn away anyone. I mean, if anybody comes to our doors, we try to help. But I know that at times we do have to take priority of those we know really cannot afford those items. But I know a lot of times, that if someone's coming out of the hospital, their social workers are trying to work with them to see if they have insurance to cover these items. If they don't, then they kind of the word is out there about us. And so they try to let people know where we are, that we can help. And so they just give us a call, and we try to go over, we try to find out if we do have those items available. But sometimes when they call, especially if it's a really a tough situation and there's a lot that's involved in their care. Some people just don't know what they need. And so we talk to them over the phone, and we kind of go through, what their whole situation is. And they might think they need one item, but then, we find out they need like 6 or 7 items, to really make that transition back into their home. So.
Right. I remember when we were wanting to offer, Loving Arms Care wanted to offer some PCA classes and training, and I reached out to you and didn't really know much at all about your business, and I said, I want to teach these classes as a nurse, and you were like, oh, that's fantastic. What do you need? You just come here and let me know. And then I made a donation because I felt so guilty. I mean, you were all hands on deck. We want to accommodate you. And so we were able to offer those classes to people in the community and use the equipment that you guys had been given as donation. If someone has equipment they no longer need, do you accept used equipment, right? That's the goal? You take the used and you're recycling?
Right. That's basically what we run off of is the donations of used medical equipment. So if anybody has anything out there, even if they feel like it's a wheelchair or a rollator that the brake or something is not quite right, please let us have that, because we have a team of I call them our repair angels, and they work on repairing everything that we can and safely. So we clean everything that comes in, we repair it, we get everything repaired, make sure it's in good working order, and we give it out, to those in need. And so, sometimes people will donate brand new things, but it's primarily used items.
And I actually I was the benefactor of some of those brand new things that still had the tags on them.
Oh.
They go out and they buy something for mom or dad thinking this is what they need, and then it doesn't work, or they don't want it, or they pass away so quickly they never even had time to use it, and it gets donated. But then I was able to return it after I was done with the equipment. So it was never I took from you and took from somebody else. I was able to use what we needed and then send it right back.
Right.
And then let somebody else have it for the next person in line. I also wanted to let people know, and I got the tour, you have wonderful volunteers, your angel volunteers there, super fantastic people. They're so accommodating. They said, come in, let's take a tour. I want to show you this warehouse. And so I got to see, end to end, everything that you guys have. And I've done home health nursing before. And so I wanted people to know, if they have someone they're caring for in the home, oftentimes supplies are ordered by Medicare. And if they order a supply and then can't use it all, or if they order the wrong supply, if it comes in the wrong size and it doesn't work, or if it's more than just equipment. You guys have oodles of things. I'm talking, pillows for turning. We're talking self catheters. If you need catheters, you guys have the food. It may be reaching expiration, but you've got the feeding tube foods, the Jevities, the boosts. You've got wound dressings. You've got anything that somebody needed and used in a health facility in a home setting and no longer needs. If they had a box of 100 and they only use 20, that box of 80 can then be taken to you guys, and you can hopefully find a home for it.
Absolutely.
So just real quickly, just run through all of and I know you also have children's and you have adults. You've got pediatric chairs. I was really blown away, really. Can you just very briefly tell us what you keep in stock?
Well, you mentioned a lot of it.
Great job.
Thank you for that. But no, we of course have the actual medical equipment. We do everything from, a bedside commode to a hospital bed, and everything basically in between. And sometimes when those things, what you were mentioning, we do hope that things come back to us. We really do. Sometimes I do know that if someone feels like they can afford, an item, but yet they just want to try it out. They're not sure if it will work. I was in that situation, and that happens, and you can't return it to the store. And so we're fine if we have it available. We're fine for them to try it, and then they'll bring it back, and they might go ahead and purchase that, and if they can. And so we're here for a lot of different things. And sometimes even people will come and say someone is just coming in for the weekend and they really need a wheelchair to help them out and help a loved one for the weekend. So we're here for that too. But yeah, we have, briefs, adult briefs and pull-ups and bed pads and gloves, blood pressure monitors, glucometers, just a little bit, anything that you can think of to care for somebody. We even have some small like TheraBands and exercise equipment. Sometimes our therapists will come in to get some items that they're working with their patient on in home health, and they're trying to get stronger. So yeah, it's
That's
a lot
fantastic.
of stuff.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, really, how much space you guys have and how you have pretty much filled every square inch of it. It's just, floor to ceiling full of stuff. So that just tells me that there is a huge need in Charlottesville, and the Lord's blessing your ministry. How do you sanitize things? Because, a lot of people are really particular about going in and getting a piece of equipment that's been in someone's home. And they, it's an issue for a lot of people. What do you guys do to sanitize?
I mean, we do have sanitizing agents, the chemicals that we can spray on and wipe them down. We do also have a hub scrub machine, and it sanitizes. And so we, especially our larger equipment, whether it's bedside commodes and shower chairs and wheelchairs, we put that in there, and it sprays a cleaner, then it sprays a disinfectant, and then it sprays a drying agent. And so it really gets it good.
So it's like an equipment car wash. You literally
Exactly.
do a little portable car wash for
Like
equipment.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a great example.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen that yet. So a year since I was there to tour. So is there anything new coming besides, Doug quitting his full-time job to be your assistant? Is there anything new coming up in the future for you guys? Do you have anything that you're anticipating with much excitement?
Well, we this summer we completed our 4th expansion,
Okay.
and so we are now up to 10,000 square feet. So that was great, and in part that was to help out with our pediatrics program. We were able to expand that a little bit, but it was also to help with the new program that we launched in August, and
I haven't heard. What's it called?
That's our rural outreach program. We call it ABF Mobile. And we basically have a truck and trailer unit that we've set up in 5 counties surrounding us, and we have a fellow who's working for us, does a great job, and he goes and sets up in those 5 counties at a particular site 1 day a week. And so right now we're able to reach out and get closer to those folks who really need our services. But in the past, we would hear, the one that sort of put us over the edge was we had a lady from Louisa who called us needing a bedside commode, which we have a ton of. And we were like, sure, absolutely. And she said, well, could you hold it for me until the first of the month? I don't have gas money.
Right.
And we're like, oh my gosh. So with this program, we're now able to take those items to where the people live, literally. And
so where are those locations? Louisa?
Well, right now, we've got them in like Autumn Care is in Madison County. Then we have St. James Episcopal is in Louisa. And then we have Dogwood Village is in Orange.
Orange, okay.
And then Cunningham Methodist Church is in
Fluvanna.
And then St. James Episcopal Church has partnered with us, but we're in Lovingston, but we're set up in the Food Line parking lot there.
Wow.
It's Trinity Episcopal.
Trinity, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Trinity. Oh, yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
Yes.
It is.
Are you still looking for more sites? Because if you are, that would be something to share with everybody who's on today. Are you wanting more opportunity, or are you maxed out? You've only got 5 days a week, right?
I know, right. And so right now, to begin this program, it's still kind of a pilot, and so we're trying to test the waters and see where there's a possibility. We're talking now with a church in Buckingham, so we may actually split and do half in Madison and half in Buckingham. So we're trying to feel where the need is the greatest, and we also really need the community support to make it work. And so we're trying to find those volunteers in that community to help us to make this work. So
so you need volunteers in the specific communities: Lovingston, Louisa, Gordonsville, Orange, Fluvanna.
Right.
You need people who are willing to work there. Are they 2 hours? The 2 hour windows?
It is. It's 10 to 12. 10 to 12. And so it's just a matter of those volunteers being there when our guy is there to set up and to help people as they're dropping off equipment or picking up, but also to get the word out. It's just really, just them just hands-on, just getting into their community and saying, hey, All Blessings Flow is here to help, this is where it is,
That's fantastic. Have there been issues of people needing equipment delivered to them and they can't come and get it? Do you guys have any way to deliver?
We do have, we have a couple of gentlemen that do most of our delivering, but we do need help with that, and so we have some vehicles, but it's just like, even if somebody could volunteer, they're strong and healthy if they could volunteer even on weekends. It's just we do have a lot of people that do let us know that, hey, I have a hospital bed and other items. Someone just passed away. They want to get it to us, but they just don't have the means to get it to us.
Right.
And it's just getting tough. And so the more we grow, we are needing more volunteers for things like that, even repair. We need more volunteers to help us with repairing items. And so anything like that, please pass the word along.
And
We're
so
also
tell us for
hoping
those,
to, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in terms of volunteers, we're also hoping to expand our days. As you mentioned, we're open on Mondays and Thursdays. We'd love to have some more volunteers so that we could actually, open up on perhaps more days than that.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell us where the warehouse is, your 10,000 square feet, for those that don't know. Where are you located?
It's on 2335 Seminole Lane. It's across from the Walmart and Sam's Club area. We're underneath UVA Primary Care. So the GPS will take you to that building, but it doesn't tell you to drive behind the building.
Right.
So there's warehouse space underneath, and we're doing curbside service. So when you pull up, just honk your horn and someone will come right out to assist you. But please try to call first, because there are a lot of items right now that we are out of, and I don't want you to make that long trip if we happen to be out of it. And so we can put you on a wait list, and we'll call when we get it in. But 434-422-8888 is our number. And but just call first, just to be on the safe side.
And what is your website? Give me your website.
allblessingsflow.org.
That's pretty easy to remember. This has been awesome. It's exciting to see how you're growing and how you guys are blessing the community. And in turn, I know that blesses you. What an awesome testimony to have been an occupational therapist and then to use it outside the box in a different way, right?
It was also, I thought I had learned so many skills being an OT, but it was also that 10 years of being a caregiver.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what you do learn as a caregiver. And so, I think some of a lot of our volunteers have been either in the medical field of some nature, whether they have been, a therapist, a nurse, or, have cared for a loved one, and that just makes you appreciate what this, how this equipment and these supplies can make a difference in someone's life. And so it really is. It's the best job ever, because you just no matter how exhausted I am, I go home and I'm just, full of love. It's just amazing.
Yeah. To be able to give selflessly. And that's what caregiving is all about. That is one of the most rewarding things I think we'll ever do in terms of work and satisfaction. Thank you both, Annie, Doug. You guys are an inspiration to us. We thank you for what you're doing for Charlottesville and the other counties. And I will tell you, I was on Facebook Marketplace 3 weeks ago, and someone had posted they had some dressing adhesive bandages left over from a family member. And they said, I'd love to find a home for it. And I was like, hey, if nobody wants it, send it to All Blessings Flow. And then someone said, there's a satellite. They come to Fluvanna once a week. I think it was Thursday. Every Thursday, go to Fluvanna to the Wesley Chapel. So the word is spreading. The word is getting out in the community. Just keep on keeping on, okay? And we thank you guys so much. Blessings to you. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.